weekend. We only have 4 games left this week, so you got to take advantage of your opportunities. Whether you play DFS, whether you bet on these games, player prop bets, we're here for all of it. But Fumble Sports has answers for you. Appreciate all of you joining us this morning. Make sure you're following us. Hit that follow button. Go to YouTube. Check out our YouTube channel. We're broadcasting live on TikTok Live and on YouTube right now. If you're watching on YouTube, you can check out our graphics. You'll see all of the player prop bets beside me. We'll also go back through the bracket. We got both of our bracket picks right yesterday, only because the Jacksonville Jaguars came back. We'll go back through our bracket to make sure you have all of those. And keep in mind, our parlay pyramid for Wild Card Weekend is still alive. We hit both of our first 2 bets yesterday. 4 of those bets still remain. Happy to go back over those so you can take advantage of all the action remaining in Wild Card Weekend. If you've got questions, whether it's about game picks, total plays, player prop bets, or just about the games at large, make sure you throw your questions in the chat. But Fumble Sports is here to answer all of your Wild Card Weekend questions. That includes, will Brandon Staley be the head coach of the Chargers next year? Where will Sean Payton go? Is Cliff Kingsbury stateside or in Thailand? We're here to talk all things NFL, NFL Sunday, so join us for the next 2 hours. We're going live for 2 hours, taking you right up until kickoff of the 1 p.m. game on CBS between the Bills and the Dolphins. Who's my favorite team? I've worked in sports media for over 15 years at this point. I just love talking sports, so don't have a favorite team. Duval Villain, congratulations on an unbelievable comeback, one for the ages. Trevor Lawrence grew up last night, and Doug Peterson proved why he should be coach of the year. Yeah, Seahawks looked good in that first half, but even there, I feel like the 49ers were giving you guys a lot of points. Those 3 points at the end of the first half that gave the Seahawks the lead, I feel like that was a mirage. I felt like the 49ers were always going to win that game. Giants, they've got a big matchup against the Minnesota Vikings at 4:30 today. Make sure you're following us. Hit that follow button. And if you want to get my game picks right away, you can go to our YouTube channel and watch our game pick videos, or you can stick with us throughout this 2-hour show. I'll definitely be giving out picks for every game, including game picks, total plays, player prop bets, everything you need to cash in on this big week. Appreciate all of you joining us. If you've got questions, we've got answers. Sir Lancelot says Bills and 49ers in the Super Bowl. I'm going a slightly different direction. If you look to my playoff bracket that we made yesterday, that video's on YouTube, I've got the Bills and Eagles in the Super Bowl. Bills and Eagles in the Super Bowl. If you want to check out our website as well, butfumblesports.com. The link is in the bio. Check out our website. The link is in the bio. There you can sign up for a free newsletter that features all of my picks and all of the notes, gambling trends that go in it. That way you can take advantage. We went 2-0 on our picks yesterday. Skylar Daddy Thompson over pass yards. I don't like it. I saw what it was at. I didn't like it. I'm avoiding it. I think Jeff Wilson Jr. will be a more important part of the offense in the running game for the Dolphins. I really don't like Skylar Thompson today. It would take Waddle and Tyreek Hill breaking big plays for him to hit that over. Private Eye Guy likes the Ravens today. I don't. I like the Cincinnati Bengals. With backup quarterbacks in there for the Ravens, a lot of reasons to like the Bengals today. That's right, Carl. Who day? Bengals are the team I like today. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and hit the website link in our bio. You can go right to butfumblesports.com and sign up for the free newsletter and get yourself some merch. I mentioned this yesterday. We have a Wild Card Weekend parlay that we built prior to kickoff yesterday. The 6 picks in that, we have 2 right so far. We have 4 left to go. I'm happy to give out that parlay. That parlay, we would have been risking $20 for $117. We already have 2 of those in the bag. San Francisco on the money line, Jacksonville covering +4. The 4 remaining picks in this one, and this obviously speaks to the games that are coming up. I have Bills on the money line. I have Cincinnati on the money line. I have the Giants covering +4.5. And I have Tampa Bay covering +4. Those are the remaining 4 picks of the Wild Card Weekend Parlay. If you want to check that out, go to our Instagram account at ButtFumbleSports. Do the Cowboys beat Tampa Bay? I think the Cowboys will win on the money line. I do like Dallas on the money line on Monday night, but I like Tom Brady and the Bucs to cover. I know I'm going against a very popular stat. Tom Brady undefeated in his career against the Cowboys, but I simply like the Dallas Cowboys roster more. I know Dak has been struggling, but I expect the entirety of the roster to stand out for the Cowboys, and I expect them to win on Monday. If you've got questions about these games, we've got answers. All your wild card weekend questions, ask them here at Butt Fumble Sports. How about the Jags' unbelievable performance yesterday? What impressed me so much as well, and this kind of gets lost, that defense in the second half really showed up. We're not talking about it a lot. We're talking about the offense. We're talking about the coaching. But the defense did enough to shut down Justin Herbert and a really powerful Chargers offense in the second half. I think that's a really good sign for the Jaguars. Not that they're going to beat the Chiefs next week, but this team's more talented on the defensive side of the ball than a lot of people talk about. Imagine when they add a couple extra pieces. And by the way, and I'm not saying this towards one team. The officiating in that Jaguars-Chargers game was one of the worst performances by a group of referees I've ever seen. I rarely talk about referees. I usually feel like it's a wash. Those referees were awful on both sides. They just missed blatant calls. Terrible officiating game. I hope the NFL and their officials do better today. Was it bad or good sitting Jones last week? I think it was good. I didn't see any reason for him to be on the field. I think he's going to have a really good day. Daniel Jones put up 334 passing yards in his last performance against the Vikings. The Vikings have a terrible pass defense. I think Daniel Jones is going to have a really good day. I like the Giants to cover, but I do like the Vikings on the money line. Do I think Brandon Staley is safe? No, I don't. I think Sean Payton is absolutely in the mix. I know Sean Payton is talking to the Denver Broncos this week, actually in LA, as reported by Adam Schefter. But I do think the Los Angeles Chargers have to look into Sean Payton. If you want to take Justin Herbert to the next level, first of all, having a defensive coach, a minded head coach in Brandon Staley, that doesn't make sense in the first place. But second, Sean Payton is the right guy. He can take Herbert to superstar levels, and Brandon Staley just doesn't manage a game well enough right now. It's not just about the development of a young quarterback. To me, it's also about what's best for the team. Brandon Staley, 2 weeks in a row now, has had terrible coaching decisions that cost his team. And yesterday, I mentioned that because the timeouts he used, the play calling, he should have said to his offensive coordinator, in the second half, we run the ball. We should have learned from the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl. We should have learned from the Colts against the Vikings earlier this year. When you have a big lead, run the frickin' ball as many times you can and bleed clock. They didn't do that. They squandered their timeouts. Bad challenge. Brandon Staley, to me, should be out. Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. If you like my rants, go to our YouTube channel, Butt Fumble Sports. All of our rant videos are there. You're going to want to hear what I had to say about the games yesterday and also about Cliff Kingsbury and his trip to Thailand. Hopelessly rooting for your Fins today. Unfortunately, I don't think that will work out well for you. Not only do I like Buffalo, but I actually like Buffalo to cover in this game. I think it's going to be an absolute blowout. That's whether Damar Hamlin shows up to the stadium or not. If Damar Hamlin shows up and is shown on the Jumbotron, give me 17 points in favor of the Bills. Otherwise, I'll take the 14. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you hit the link in my bio and go to our website, buttfumblesports.com, and that way you can sign up for the free newsletter that features all of my picks for all of the playoff, wild card weekend round, but you can also get yourself some merch. Jeffrey, I agree. If Damar Hamlin shows up, the boost emotionally that'll be to the Bills. I would not want to be playing against them in that situation, especially with a backup. I shouldn't even say a backup. Skylar Thompson is a third-string quarterback. The Bills already played the Dolphins, so any tricks Mike McDaniel might have had up his sleeve, I don't think he'll be able to turn to. I think the Bills are aware of this thing. Contain Waddle, contain Hill. Don't let them break for big plays, and you're going to win the game by double digits. I don't see any other way the Dolphins stay competitive in that game. The rumor is Hamlin is supposed to lead them onto the field. Oh my God, what an injection of emotion that would be. Buffalo is already charged for the playoffs. Bills Mafia would absolutely erupt. If Damar Hamlin leads the team onto the field for this game, give me Buffalo by 1 billion. Cincinnati versus Baltimore, what are my thoughts on it? I really like Cincinnati. They already played Baltimore last week. That was the best punch Baltimore was going to give them in some ways because you're starting backup quarterbacks. The defense, I think Cincinnati will be better prepared, understand what the objective is, which is Punch early, knock the Ravens out. They don't have the offensive firepower to stay in a high-scoring game, so I really like the Bengals tonight. Mostert is not playing. I love Daddy Kentrell. Mostert is not playing, so it's going to rely heavily on Jeff Wilson Jr. I haven't put this out as a player prop bet. It's just something that I just put down right before the show. Is Jeff Wilson over rushing yards total? I saw it at 57.5. Just given the usage that they'll need out of him, I like that over 57.5. Total rushing yards for Jeff Wilson Jr. That feels like a good play. It's not one of the player prop bets that I put out. If you do want to see all of those player prop bets, our Instagram account has all of those up. We put out 6 of them. Check that out at Fumble Sports on Instagram. Ahmed is a pretty explosive back too. That said, when he's in the game, I feel like it's going to be a more obvious running play, funny enough. I feel like Jeff Wilson Jr., when he's in there, it could be run, it could be pass. McDaniel knows how to utilize him from their time together in San Francisco. One of the reasons I like Jeff Wilson Jr., it's not as obvious a run play to me. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. And one more note for you. Once we hit 2,000 likes, we will do a quick poll. We do a quick poll every time we hit 2,000 likes. Those polls are related to either game picks or player prop bets that I like. So we put out the poll, you guys vote, and then I give my pick based on that poll. So make sure you're hitting that like button and get us up to 2,000 likes. The first game that's kicking off today is at 1 p.m. The 9-8 Dolphins against the 13-3 Buffalo Bills. That game's going to be on CBS. Where I saw it, Buffalo was originally a 13-point favorite. That's moving to 14 points right now. The over-under is set at 44.5 points. At this point, I might like the under on that. Earlier in the week, when that 44.5 was closer to 42, I like the over. But now that line is shifting, I don't know where the points are going to come for the Miami Dolphins. I could see Buffalo putting up 33 points on their own, but can the Miami Dolphins score 15 points, 16 points? Over in Ravens game and Bills game. Interesting. I had the over in the Bills game, like I said earlier in the week. There's a part of me that feels worse about it this morning. That said, in the Ravens-Bengals game, let's see what I had for that one. Just going to my notes. If you want to get some of these notes, you can sign up for the free newsletter on buttfumblesports.com. So I like the under in tonight's game between the Ravens and the Bengals. Here's the reason why. I have 3 gambling trends that really allow me to feel confident in the under for the Ravens-Bengals game. The under is 5-1 in the Ravens' last 6 games overall. The under is 4-0 in the Bengals' last 4 home playoff games, and the under is 4-0 in the Ravens' last 4 playoff games. So the under, the trends really point strongly in that direction for Ravens and Bengals. The way I really like to bet, I like to strip away the brand names because sometimes you believe too much in the hype of a player or a team. Go to the stats. Go to the gambling trends. The gambling trends are telling me take the Bengals on the money line, take the Bengals at home, and obviously take the under based on the trends I just gave you. Make sure you're following us. Hit that follow button. Butt Fumble Sports is here for all of your questions. If you've got questions about Wild Card Weekend, game picks, total plays, player prop bets, we're here for it. Yeah, exactly. The Ravens will put up points. The Bengals are going to put up points. I'm not worried about the Bengals. It's where the points going to come from the Baltimore Ravens. I don't trust that offense. I don't care if it's Tyler Huntley or Anthony Brown or anyone else they're throwing out there. If there's going to be offense, it's going to be on the Cincy side. I don't know where they're going to score points unless it's from J.K. Dobbins getting 1 touchdown, Mark Andrews 1 touchdown. The most I really see them getting is 17, maybe 20 points. So again, I like the under. In-game injuries do make anything possible, but that said, the talent across the board for the Bengals, I feel really strong about their possibility of winning. And you really can't bank on in-game injuries. If that's how you're playing, you shouldn't be betting on football to begin with. Why isn't Teddy Bridgewater playing? Well, as someone else mentioned in the chat, dislocated his pinky on his throwing hand. Really tough for him to go. He hit it on a helmet, I believe, and that's why he's out. So Skylar Thompson, third-string quarterback who did start against the Jets last week. We saw how he performed against the Jets. He got shut down. I know they won with a 9-point to 6-point win, but that's more a function of how bad Joe Flacco and the Jets' offense was. But the Jets defense shut Skylar Thompson down. A couple flags that were pretty questionable allowed him to get that game-winning field goal. So for a number of reasons, I really don't have any confidence in the Miami Dolphins offense. Last week, I thought they should have been able to get Tyreek Hill and Waddle more involved. The fact that they weren't, bad sign for them now going up to Buffalo and trying to accomplish the same task. Thoughts on Diggs and Knox receiving props at 77.5 and 35.5. So I've been looking a lot at Stephon Diggs today. It was tough for me because I went to his stats versus the Dolphins in his career, and I wasn't crazy about the stats that I saw. So just to give you an example, his average receiving yards in games against the Miami Dolphins over the course of his career is 73 yards. So that would suggest the under. In his last few games against the Dolphins, 60, 74, 40, 60. For a lot of reasons, the under on total receiving yards for Diggs feels like the better play. I feel like he's going to get about 5 catches, right around 70 yards. 77, I would try to buy that up, get as close to 80 as possible, and then I'd probably take the under. As for Dawson Knox, let's check out Dawson Knox and his stats in his career versus the Dolphins. This is one of the things I like to do when you get to the playoffs and you have teams from the same division that have played each other a couple times. Dawson Knox in the last game against the Dolphins, 98 receiving yards, but that's an all-time high. For the most part, he's been under 36. So I'm going to lean slightly towards the under, and I'm going to say the last game they played earlier this year, that's a bit of an outlier. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And if you want to get a free newsletter with all of my game picks and the game and gambling notes that go into those picks, go to the link in our bio, buttfumblesports.com. Hit that link, go to the website, sign up for the free newsletter. Really simple, and that way you get all of my game picks, game notes, and gambling trends for Wild Card Weekend and for every NFL weekend to follow. We'll keep doing that all the way through March Madness and through other sports as well. So sign up, you'll get a lot of good content. Bengals going to beat the Ravens again? Absolutely. One trend that I am noting from yesterday's game, the team that had won the previous matchup had won yesterday. So Jaguars played the Chargers earlier this year. Jaguars won. The 49ers played the Seahawks twice this year. 49ers won both matchups. So there's a part of me that feels really good about my picks because today I'm going with teams that won the earlier matchup. I know the Bills and Dolphins split, but both those games feature Tua Tagovailoa. Makes me feel really good at matchups this year, or the most recent matchup rather, when it wasn't Lamar Jackson on the field. And between the Giants and the Vikings, I like the Vikings to win today. Vikings won the previous matchup against the Giants. I think that continues today. Giants, Bills, Dallas, and Cincinnati. Rivera Jam, that's exactly where I am, except for the Giants. I like Giants to cover. I like Giants to cover the spread, but I like Bills on the money line. I do like Dallas on the money line on Monday night, and I like Cincinnati on the money line. Yeah, Steven Silver, what do I think about Vikings and Giants? I like Vikings on the money line. I like the Giants to cover. Let's talk about that game really briefly. Today at 4:30, Giants 9-7-1 take on the 13-4 Minnesota Vikings. That game's going to be on Fox. Where I see it, that game is a 3-point spread. That's been fairly consistent, by the way. That spread has kind of sat there at 3 points throughout the week. So public money, big bets being put down, hasn't swayed it. Nothing in the injury report has swayed that as well. Giants come in really healthy on defense, I should note. Much healthier than they were when these two teams previously met, and much healthier than the Giants have been over the month of December. So Leonard Williams back on the field. Xavier McKinney back on the field. A lot of defensive help coming to the Giants today. That said, Vikings a 3-point favorite. If you did bet the Vikings on the spread, it's even money. If you took them on the money line, it's minus 150. The over-under is set at 48 points. Again, whether it's the spread or the over-under, those have held pretty steady throughout the week. So whether it's Vegas or the public, they feel like that line came out correctly. Some gambling trends for you on that Vikings-Giants game, and then we'll get to our quick poll because we've hit 2,000 likes. The Giants are 9-1 in their last 10 playoff road games. That's the Giants are 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 playoff road games. The road team is 9-4 against the spread in the last 13 meetings between the Vikings and the Giants. Road team is 9-4 against the spread in the last 13 meetings between the Vikings and the Giants. And again, one last one on the spread. The Vikings are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games overall. All 3 of those trends have me leaning towards the Giants to cover the spread. I like Vikings on the money line. They've been a good team at home this year when they don't get blown out. I don't think the Giants will blow them out. So I like Vikings on the money line, but I like Vikings on the money line, but I like the Giants on the spread. The Butt Fumble Sports pick for this one: Minnesota money line, New York to cover plus 4.5. I do like the over in this game. Couple trends on that. The over is 6-1 in the Vikings' last 7 games overall. The over is 5-0-1 in Giants' last 6 games on this kind of turf that is in Minnesota. So when it's a faster track, Giants offense usually hits that over. I like the over for this one as well. That's how I'm betting the Giants and the Vikings. We've hit 2,000 likes, so I want to pay that off with a quick poll. We're going to do a quick poll now. How these work: I put out the quick poll question, you guys vote, we get our results, and then I share my analysis afterwards and pay it off to you. So our first poll question of the day, because we hit 2,000 likes, here we go. So the first poll question of the day. The first poll question: which wide receiver will have more receptions today? Which wide receiver will have more receptions today? Smiley face for Stephon Diggs, crying face for Jamar Chase. One more time before you guys vote. Which wide receiver will have more receptions today? Smiley face for Stephon Diggs, crying face for Jamar Chase. Let's do this quick poll. Which wide receiver will have more receptions, more catches today? Smiley face for Stephon Diggs, crying face for Jamar Chase. Let us know what you guys think. Doing a quick poll because we hit 2,000 likes. Every time we hit another 2,000 like benchmark, we'll do a poll just like this. Which wide receiver will have more receptions today, Wild Card Weekend Sunday? Will it be Stephon Diggs? If so, hit the smiley face. If you think it's Jamar Chase, hit the crying face. So red for Diggs, blue for Chase. Which wide receiver will have more receptions today? Smiley face Stephon Diggs, crying face Jamar Chase. Once you guys vote, make sure you stick around. I'll give my analysis and my pick after. Smiley face for Stephon Diggs, crying face for Jamar Chase. Which wide receiver will have more receptions today? That's more receptions. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports. Final few seconds. You guys, by just one vote, think Jamar Chase is going to have more receptions today. I agree with you to pay it off. The Butt Fumble Sports pick to this poll question. I like Jamar Chase to have more receptions than Stephon Diggs, and this is why. Jamar Chase against the Ravens in his career averages 7.5 receptions. He's had 4 games against the Ravens. 8, 7, 7, and 8 receptions in those 4 games. So 7.5 receptions for Chase. Feel good about that. In the career for Diggs against the Dolphins, he averages about 5.5 catches a game. So Diggs, 5.5 catches a game. Chase, 7.5 catches a game. That's what they average against the opponents they're playing today. I like Jamar Chase. Ravens' pass defense isn't good. I like Jamar Chase to have more receptions than Stephon Diggs. Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. If you want all of my player prop bets, check out our Instagram account at Butt Fumble Sports. You can see all of our player prop bets that we just posted. Yeah, Jamar Chase anytime touchdown wouldn't be a bad play as well. I haven't bet that money. I took Joe Mixon on an anytime touchdown. That was the play I made. Three of his last 4 games, and in 5 of his last 7 games. That gives me a lot of confidence that he's going to get another touchdown today. He had one last week against the Baltimore Ravens. So while we're talking, I'm going to put down a unit or 2 on Jamar Chase anytime touchdown. One thing I would also recommend For those who like to bet anytime touchdowns, by the way, I'm getting Jamar Chase anytime touchdown at even money. Like that bet. But if you want to make that those odds even better, Jamar Chase anytime touchdown and combine that with a parlay win, Bengals win. So that's Jamar Chase anytime touchdown and parlay it with the Cincinnati Bengals win. I feel like that's a really good ticket. Wow. I'm going to get anytime touchdown Jamar Chase and a Bengals win at plus 125. I'm putting down multiple units on that. I really like that bet. That's one I'm making. Make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Once we hit 4,000 likes, we'll do another quick poll. Again, the player prop bet that I just put some units down on is Jamar Chase anytime touchdown and parlaying that with the Cincinnati Bengals win. I'm getting that at plus 125 at the sports book that I use. The reason I'm doing that, Jamar Chase had a touchdown last week against the Ravens. He has a receiving touchdown in 3 of his last 4 games and 5 of his last 7. I want to see what his stats have been versus the Ravens in his career. StatMuse is a good website for that. He only has a touchdown in 2 of his 4 games against the Ravens, obviously one coming more recently, but he averages about 7.5 receptions. That's the player prop bet I really like with Jamar Chase, is his over receiving yards, or over receptions rather, over receptions. I got Jamar Chase over 6.5 receptions at even money. I feel really good about that. I think he's going to get 7 catches today. Getting word on the Miami Dolphins quarterback situation from Adam Schefter. Miami Dolphins quarterback Teddy Bridgewater is expected to be active today versus Buffalo, despite being listed as questionable due to a dislocated pinky. He will be back up to rookie Skylar Thompson. This is according to Adam Schefter. So Teddy Bridgewater will be active today. He isn't starting. Skylar Thompson is starting, but Bridgewater is going to be active. I don't know what kind of production they would get out of him, though. A pinky on his throwing hand being dislocated in the manner it was, gruesome injury. I don't know if he'd be available. I know he's active, but I don't know if he'll see the field. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Once we hit 4,000 likes, we'll do another quick poll. We have another 90 minutes to go. That first 30 minutes of the show went incredibly fast. Hope you're following us. Hope you're joining us. For those on YouTube, appreciate you watching. You can see our graphics. Obviously, you also see the player prop bets next to me. Make sure you check out our YouTube channel, Fumble Sports. Daniel Jones at plus 114 for over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Convince me how you don't go after that. Okay. I actually, LGP Elite, I thought about that one yesterday, and I actually have a good reason to not go with that. So I was looking at that one yesterday. Go to Daniel Jones and check out his game log. If you just look at his game log right now, Daniel Jones, he's had 2 passing touchdowns just once over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. Daniel Jones has 2 passing touchdowns just once over the last 7 weeks. Even against the Minnesota Vikings, where he threw for 334 passing yards, he only had 1 passing touchdown. Now, Daniel Jones on an anytime touchdown, when it comes to a rushing touchdown, that might be a good play because he does that a lot in the red zone. But Daniel Jones over 1.5 passing touchdowns isn't as good a bet as you may think. It's one of the reasons I avoided it. I didn't put down money on that. I took Daniel Jones over total passing yards. A player prop bet that I do like today is Daniel Jones over 242 passing yards. I got that at minus 115, but over total touchdowns, I avoided that one. Don't feel great about it. Simp for Soft, you say Chase over 6 receptions. Exactly. I like that one. I got it at 6.5. You get it at 6. I really like that. You get it at 6. It could be a push, but you're getting better odds than me. But that said, I think he's going to get 7 catches today against the Baltimore Ravens. Who's your top 4 quarterbacks right now in the NFL? That seems very easy to me. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and I'm going to go Jalen Hurts would be number 4 for me. Justin Jefferson and Barkley anytime touchdown. Let's check out Justin Jefferson's stats. I do like Saquon Barkley on an anytime touchdown, but let's take a look at Justin Jefferson, what his game logs look like. So Jefferson, he hasn't had a receiving touchdown in his past 2 games. He did have one against the Giants. Man, he had a massive game against the Giants. Was targeted 16 times, 12 receptions for 133 yards, including a receiving touchdown. Okay, you talked me into it a little bit. I do like Justin Jefferson, anytime touchdown. I will put a unit down on that. Even as we speak, I'm going to the sports book that I like and putting some money down on that. I'm actually going to cover that on 2 ways. I'll take Justin Jefferson on an anytime touchdown. I'm also going to take a smaller bet, maybe half a unit, on Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown and combine it with a Vikings win, since I do like the Vikings on the money line. So I'll put down 2 units or a unit and a half on Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown. I'm getting that at even money right now. So I'm getting anytime touchdown for Justin Jefferson at even money. If I go to Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown and the Minnesota Vikings win, I'm getting that at plus 200. I'll put 1 unit on that, and that's another bet that I have. So Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown. I didn't put that one out as one of my favorite player prop bets, but I just put it now that we've checked out the stats. If you've got questions, we've got answers. Justin Jefferson over 91.5 receiving yards. I'm not as crazy about that one. I know he put it up over 100. He had 133 yards against the New York Giants. He's had less opportunities the last 2 weeks. Let's see. He is much better at home, though. You might have talked me into his over receiving yards at home as well. I'll take over 91.5 receiving yards. I'll take that. Skylar Thompson, less than 10.5 rushing yards. I don't know much about Skylar Thompson as a rushing option. Let's check out his stats. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Once we hit 4,000 likes, we'll do another quick poll. We're checking out Skylar Thompson rushing stats to see if his rushing yards total is a good player prop bet, and it is not. He had 3 rushing attempts last week for 3 yards. He is not a runner from the stats that we have, at least limited exposure, but I would take the under on his rushing yards. Do I think Allen will get a chance at a rushing touchdown today? Absolutely. Josh Allen, love going through these questions with you. Whenever I do, I like to go to their game log to see how these players have performed. So Josh Allen has kind of had an off and on rushing touchdown streak going. 3 rushing touchdowns in his last 6 weeks, and it usually goes rushing touchdown followed by a week without one. He didn't have one last week, so maybe Josh Allen rushing touchdown is a good bet this week. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. We're always available to answer your player prop bet questions as well as game pick and total questions. If you want to get all of my game picks and the game notes and gambling trends that go into it, hit the link in our bio. Go right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. You can sign up for the free newsletter. In that newsletter, again, you get all of my game picks in one place. Make sure you're hitting that link in the bio, buttfumblesports.com. Go to our website, buttfumblesports.com, and while you're there, sign up for the free newsletter and get yourself some merchandise. By the way, we're going to be putting out some game or team-specific merchandise. So if you're a 49ers fan, if you're a Raiders fan, if you're a Bills fan, if you just like cool artwork or designs, make sure you go to our website later today and get yourself some merchandise. We're going to have some new NFL merchandise coming out later today. You'll definitely want to check that out. If you're a Brock Purdy fan, it's can't miss stuff. I'm just saying that. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you're following us. If you bet the Super Bowl, are you putting it all on one team or are you splitting it up for a smaller profit? Well, actually, something that I did in early December is I actually put bets down on a number of teams that I thought were going to make it to, let's say, the NFC Championship game. So I have a small bet down on the 49ers, on the Vikings, on the Eagles, on the Chiefs, on the Bengals, and on the Bills. So I have money, but that's where I got them at better odds because we still had a wider field. As it narrows, I think you pick maybe 2 teams that you really like and put your bets down on that for a Super Bowl run. Jamar Chase over half an anytime touchdown. I like it. I do like Jamar Chase an anytime touchdown today. It isn't one that I put out on our Instagram account. If you want to see all the player prop bets that I really like, you can go to our Instagram account at Fumble Sports. But while we were going on through the show, someone asked that question, do we like Jamar Chase anytime touchdown? He has a touchdown in 3 of his last 4 games, 5 of his last 7. So I did put some money down on Jamar Chase anytime touchdown. My one recommendation for that, if you're going to put money down on an anytime touchdown for Jamar Chase, also go for the parlay, anytime touchdown and a Bengals win. I think the Bengals are going to win anyways, but if Jamar Chase catches a touchdown, think of the probability that the Bengals win goes up 10, 12, 15%. That makes that bet really favorable, especially you go from even money on an anytime touchdown to plus 200. That's worth it to me. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports and keep hitting that like button. Once we hit 4,000 likes, we'll do another quick poll. The next quick poll that we're going to do is going to be about 2 of the quarterbacks going today and the player prop bet I like involving one of them. So make sure you're hitting that like button. Let's get up to 4,000 likes and we'll do another quick poll question. Jeffrey asks about Saquon anytime touchdown today. I did put money down on that. I didn't put it out as a player prop bet on our Instagram account, but me personally, I did put a unit down on Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown, but I didn't put it as a parlay. I like the Vikings on the money line, so it was only Barkley on an anytime touchdown. But Barkley anytime touchdown, I did put a unit on. Waddle over. I'm not touching Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle on their over receiving yards. A lot. I'm not putting money down on his player prop bet today. I'm just kind of avoiding the Miami Dolphins offense, except for one player. I did put a player prop bet down on Jeff Wilson Jr. over his total rushing yards. I got it at 57.5. I really like that one only because of how he could be used by Mike McDaniel. Familiarity with the offense from his time in San Francisco. He's going to be used a lot, whether it's draw plays, straight up single back run plays. I like that. While I'm even talking about it, I want to check out what is Jeff Wilson Jr. rushing plus receiving yards total. That might be a good one to play. So Jeff Wilson Jr. Total rushing plus receiving yards is 79.5. Let's check. Jeff Wilson Jr. game log stats. So Jeff Wilson Jr. in his last 2 games is right around that total. Given there's going to be no Mostert today, I'm gonna double down on Jeff Wilson today, and I'm gonna take Jeff Wilson Jr. total rushing plus receiving yards 79.5. I'm going to take the over. I'll take over one. I'm getting that at minus 115. I'm only going to put 1 unit down on that. So 1 unit down on Jeff Wilson Jr. going over 79.5 rushing plus receiving yards. Like I said, I'm only going to put 1 unit down on it. I don't feel crazy confident about it, but I feel like if the Dolphins are going to have any offense between the 20s, it's really going to be Jeff Wilson Jr. doing a lot of the heavy load. Especially because Tyreek Hill and Waddle means that I think the secondary of the Bills is going to be in a prevent defense. They don't want to get beat over the top. They don't want to get beat with big plays. I think that does open up some of the running lanes for Jeff Wilson Jr. It's one of the reasons I like it. I also think Skylar Thompson is going to have to use him in the quick passing game, dump it out, screen passes, get it out in the flat. So I like Jeff Wilson Jr. in both the run and pass game. We've hit 4,000 likes. You guys are incredible. Amazing support you guys show us. So let's do another quick poll question. For those who just joined, how this works, we put out a poll question. You guys vote. Then I give my answer, and it's related to a game pick that I like today. So make sure you get involved in this poll question. Okay, this next poll question, because we hit 4,000 likes, which quarterback will have more passing yards today? Which quarterback will have more passing yards today? Smiley face Daniel Jones, crying face Kirk Cousins. One more time before you guys start to vote. The poll question is, which quarterback will have more passing yards today? Smiley face Daniel Jones, crying face Kirk Cousins? Let's start this quick poll. Let us know what you guys think. Which quarterback will have more passing yards today? Smiley face Daniel Jones, crying face Kirk Cousins. One more time for those playing at home. Which quarterback will have more passing yards today? Smiley face Daniel Jones, crying face Kirk Cousins. You guys vote. Once we get the results, I'll give my analysis and my pick, usually related to a game prop bet. Smiley face Daniel Jones, crying face Kirk Cousins. Which quarterback will have more passing yards today? If you like Daniel Jones more passing yards, hit the smiley face. If you like Kirk Cousins, hit the crying face. Doing a quick poll question because we hit 4,000 likes. Which quarterback will have more passing yards today? Smiley face Daniel Jones, crying face Kirk Cousins. Coming down to the final seconds, you guys have Kirk Cousins by a pretty wide margin. I'm going to disagree with you guys. So a couple notes for you. In their matchup a few weeks ago, Daniel Jones threw for 334 passing yards against the Vikings, while Kirk Cousins threw for 299 against the Giants. The Vikings are the second worst pass defense in the NFL, allowing 265 pass yards per game. Giants, 14th fewest pass yards allowed at 214. I like Daniel Jones over his passing yards total, and I like Daniel Jones actually throwing for more passing yards than Kirk Cousins. That's more of a function of the defense of the Vikings. I think the Vikings pass defense is so bad, Daniel Jones will have the better stats. But believe it or not, I like Daniel Jones over Kirk Cousins for passing yards. But the player prop bet that I like involving Daniel Jones, if we can throw that up on YouTube, is Daniel Jones over 242.5 passing yards. I'm getting that at minus 115. Again, the last time the Giants played the Vikings, Jones had 334 passing yards. I like him to go over his passing yard total today against the Vikings. That's over 242.5 passing yards for Daniel Jones. I'm getting that at minus 115. If you like my content, if you like my player prop bets, if you like my picks, make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And make sure you go to my website, buttfumblesports.com. Hit the link in the bio. Go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. You can sign up for a free newsletter. In that newsletter, you'll get bio, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for the free newsletter, and while you're there, get yourself some merchandise. We'll be dropping some new NFL-related merchandise later today. If you're a Raiders fan, a Patriots fan, a Dolphins fan, a Bills fan, a Vikings fan, a 49ers fan, there are a number of shirts that we're going to drop with very cool designs. You guys will want to check it out. That's buttfumblesports.com. The link is in the bio. You don't think the Giants are going to rely more on Barkley in the running game? So the reason I like Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown, the reason I like Daniel Jones in the passing game is the Vikings defense is much better against the run than the pass. So between the 20s, I think the Giants will be more effective moving the ball through the air or with Daniel Jones running the ball. So that said, I think the Vikings defense is going to key on Saquon Barkley, especially between the 20s. I think Saquon will still have a good game, but I think Daniel Jones in the passing game is going to be really productive. That's the reason I like that over passing yards for Daniel Jones. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. Yeah, Jeffrey, you don't just want to think about the quarterback and the brand name. Think about the defense they're playing. So the game picks that I put out, the player prop bets that I put out, the way I go about making my picks, I kind of strip away the brand name. We fall in love with a name or we start to have a bias against them. We think Daniel Jones isn't a good passer of the football, so we assume the under's going to hit. But when you think about how he performed against the Vikings in their most recent game against each other and how the Vikings perform most recently, and how do they perform against that opponent if they have a history. So Joe Mixon, if you're asking Joe Mixon over or under 3.5 receptions, Joe Mixon has at least 3 receptions in his last 3 games, 5, 7, and 5 receptions over his last 3 games. And on top of that, against the Ravens this year, he had 5 receptions last week, 3 receptions in the meeting earlier in October. So I do like over 3.5 receptions for Joe Mixon today. I would take Joe Mixon over 3.5 receptions. What's your biggest pick? As in, what's the pick that I'm most confident about? Well, easily it's Bills on the money line. I'm getting that at minus 800. So really, that's just something you're folding into a bunch of parlays. But the Bills are not going to lose today. They're not going to lose to Skylar Thompson or Teddy Bridgewater with a dislocated pinky. And if Damar Hamlin leads them on the field, like some of you hit up in the comments, that could be a possibility. If Damar Hamlin's on the field for this game or shows up at all, I'm taking Bills by 1,000,000. So for a lot of reasons, Bills on the money line is an easy play for me. That said, we put out a parlay to start Wild Card Weekend, a Wild Card Weekend parlay pyramid, as we call it. You can find it on our Instagram account. That we were risking $20 on that. We would win $117. We're still alive. We cashed both of our games yesterday. 49ers on the money line, Jacksonville +4. We have 3 games up in that one, 4 games left in it, but 3 up today, obviously. Cincinnati on the money line, Bills on the money line, and the Giants to cover +4.5. We also have the Buccaneers covering +4 in that parlay pyramid. If you want to check that out, go to our Instagram account at ButtFumbleSports. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Once we hit 6,000 likes, we'll do another poll. For those who don't know, every time we do a poll, I put out a poll question. You guys vote on it. It's usually related to a game pick or a player prop bet that I like. After you guys vote, that's when I give my answer, and you guys can get a winning ticket. Justin Tucker over 1.5 field goals. I'd absolutely take that. If the Ravens are going to get any points today, I expect Tucker to be involved quite frequently. And given that his range is so good, I know he struggled a little bit this year, a little bit more than we've come to expect, but I do like Justin Tucker over 1.5 field goals today. Hamlin was spotted on the Bills campus earlier this week. Was he at the facility today? Is he leading the team out onto the field? If he does, Bills by 1,000,000. I know the money line is minus 800. That's asking a lot of money to put down. I wouldn't necessarily do that. I'd fold it into some parlays, but Bills on the money line is an easy ticket to cash today. Make sure you're following us at ButtFumbleSports. Tyreek goes for 4 tutties and upsets the Bills. Well, just like the Seahawks fans that talked to us yesterday, Nick, if you want to believe that, make sure you follow us, hit us up, and join us tomorrow night when we do another pregame show. And if you're right, I'm here for the smack talk. I'm here for you to tell me I'm wrong, but I don't think there's any way the Miami Dolphins win this one. I feel even more confident about the Bills winning today than I did the 49ers yesterday, and I took the 49ers on the spread and cashed that ticket. I love the Bills today, and I would even take the Bills on the spread today. That's how much I like Buffalo. Okay, Atwood Daniel asked, Dawson Knox touchdown. I thought about it. I didn't put money down on it. I feel like it's a decent play, but I'm just not touching it. At plus 10.5, at plus 235, I might put half a unit down on it. Again, a unit can change for different people. For some people, a unit's $100. For some people, a unit is $10. I would put half a unit down on it. I wouldn't put a full unit down on Dawson Knox anytime touchdown, but because you're getting it at plus 235, I do like Dawson Knox at that range at half a unit. By the way, speaking of touchdowns today, one note, and this does speak well to those who want Bills to get some touchdowns. Josh Allen over 1.5 passing touchdowns is a cashed ticket. I'm just saying it now. Josh Allen in his career against the Miami Dolphins has at least 2 passing touchdowns in every single game he's ever played against the Dolphins. Let me say that one more time. Josh Allen's played 10 games in his career against the Dolphins. In those 10 games, he's had at least 2 passing touchdowns every single time. You can get Josh Allen over 1.5 passing touchdowns right now where I see it at minus 165. Are those great odds? No. But at minus 165, given how consistent that stat has been, I put money down on it. I put a unit and a half on it. I would even put 2 units down on it. I love that bet today. That's Josh Allen over 1.5 passing touchdowns. You're getting it at minus 165. I think it's worth it. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports and hit that like button. Once we hit 6,000 likes, we'll do another quick poll. A 15-leg parlay with Bills on the money line. I mean, a 15-leg parlay. Marky Mark, if the Dolphins pull up the upset, I want you to join us tomorrow. We're doing another pregame show before Bucks Cowboys. Make sure you join and talk all the smack. Tell me I'm wrong. But for now, I'm not just taking Bills on the money line. I'm taking Bills on the spread. That's how much I like Buffalo today. It's Buffalo Bills playoffs. If DeMar Hamlin shows up, I like the spread even more. I like Buffalo Bills today. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. And again, if you want to check out all of my game picks in one consolidated place, what can you guys do? You can hit the link in our bio. The link in our bio, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Hit the link in our bio, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for the free newsletter. In that newsletter, every week, you get all of my game picks, player prop bets, and the gambling trends and notes that go into it. So it's not just the pick and you're tailing or fading me for reasons you don't know. You get all the notes that explain my picks, and that way you know exactly why I went with it. Sign up for the free newsletter at buttfumblesports.com. Go to buttfumblesports.com. Again, the link is in the bio. Sign up for the free newsletter. Where can you get one of these polos? At buttfumblesports.com. We've got merchandise, obviously Butt Fumble Sports merchandise, but we also have team and player-specific merchandise. I'm just giving a hint out there. If you like Brock Purdy and the 49ers, make sure you go to our website later today. We've come up with an awesome design highlighting Mr. Irrelevant. So make sure you follow us at Butt Fumble Sports and go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. We're going to be dropping some new NFL-related merchandise later today. I guarantee you're going to want to check it out. Okay, favorite player prop bet for the Giants game. I have 2 player prop bets that I really like for the Giants. The first one is Daniel Jones over 42.5 passing yards. That's Daniel Jones over 242.5 passing yards. I'm getting that at minus 115. The reason I like that, when these two teams met earlier this year, Daniel Jones threw for 334 passing yards. The Vikings are one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL. In fact, they're the second worst, allowing 265 pass yards per game. So I like Daniel Jones over total passing yards. I'm getting that at minus 115. Another player prop bet for the Giants game that I like has to do with one of the receivers for the Giants. That's Richie James. Richie James, I like him over 4 at minus 105. The reason for that, Richie James has at least 5 catches in 3 of his last 4 games, including an 8-catch performance against the Vikings a few weeks ago. So Richie James, over 4.5 receptions, I'm getting that at minus 105. When I first saw that player prop bet, I just assumed it was going to be the under. Then I looked up the stats, I looked up the trends, and I realized the over is a really good play, especially at minus 105. I put 1 unit down on that. That's Richie James, over 4.5 receptions. I got that at minus 105. Make sure you're following us. By the way, the real Mr. Ford, thank you for subscribing. If those who subscribe to our TikTok account, you get a lot of exclusive things, whether it's messaging, exclusive lives. I'm going to give you free merch and all of that stuff. So make sure you guys subscribe to us on TikTok. And for those watching on YouTube, I know we have a great broadcast on YouTube with our graphics, our player prop bets, our NFL bracket that we did yesterday that's still alive, by the way. We went 2-0 in our playoff bracket yesterday. But make sure you guys can check out our website, buttfumblesports.com. We just hit 6,000 likes because, by the way, the Butt Fumble Sports community is absolutely amazing. You guys are incredible. So appreciate the support you guys show us. You are what make us a network and make us successful. The next poll question we're going to do is about a game pick. The next poll question we're going to do is about a game pick. So the next poll question Here we go. The next poll question, which team will cover the spread? Which team will cover the spread is the next poll question. Which team will cover the spread? Smiley face, Vikings -3, crying face, Giants +3. Wait before you vote. One more time. Hear the poll question one more time before you vote. Smiley face, Vikings -3, crying face, Giants +3. Which team will cover the spread? Let's do a quick poll question now. We've been going for an hour straight. This is I believe, our third poll question. Which team will cover the spread? Smiley face if you like Vikings -3. Crying face if you like Giants +3. Which team will cover the spread today? Let us know in this quick poll question. We'll get back to answering all of your questions, whether it's about game picks or total plays, but doing a quick poll now because we hit 6,000 likes. Which team will cover the spread? Smiley face, Vikings -3, or crying face, Giants +3. Which team will cover the spread today? Let us know in our quick poll. Smiley face, Vikings, crying face, Giants. Which team will cover the spread? The spread right now is 3 points. Which team will cover the spread? Smiley face, Vikings, crying face, Giants. Let us know which team will cover the spread. Final few seconds. Smiling face, Vikings, crying face, Giants. Which team will cover the spread? You guys have the Giants covering the spread. I tend to agree with you. I do like the Giants to cover today, but I'm going to give one note on this. It does kind of not fall in line with our poll question exactly. I would buy the points today, though. I'd buy a 1.5 on Giants covering the spread. 3 points, a field goal, a little tight for me. If you get Giants +4.5, I love that bet. So for me, it's Vikings on the money line. I will say I do think the Vikings are going to win, but Giants to cover +4.5, that's one of my favorite bets today. One of the reasons it's my favorite bets, it's involved in our wild card weekend parlay. Before wild card weekend kicked off, we put together a parlay of six different bets, a $20 bet that would win $117. We went 2-0 yesterday. Jacksonville covered for us. The 49ers hit the money line. Giants +4.5 is one of those 2 bets that we need today, or 2 bets on the spread, rather. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. And if you want to get all of my game picks or get some Fumble Sports merch, go to our website. The link is in the bio, buttfumblesports.com. We're going to be dropping some NFL-related merch today. You're definitely going to want to check that out. Duffel bag. I hope you cash a lot of tickets. Okay, the real Mr. Ford. Hill, 100-plus receiving yards. I'm avoiding. Mostert isn't. I don't think Mostert's playing today. I haven't heard Mostert is playing. Let's get a check on that. Raheem Mostert's out. Yeah, Raheem Mostert is not playing today, so avoid Raheem Mostert. Do not play Raheem Mostert. As for Hill, over 100 receiving yards, I'm really not crazy about it. Let's check out the stats just to make sure I'm giving you guys good advice. So Tyreek Hill hasn't had over 100 receiving yards. He's only had over 100 receiving yards once in his last 5 games. So I know he was really hot for 2/3 of the season, but over the last month with Tua being hurt, Tyreek Hill has hit 100 yards just once over the last 5 weeks. Now let's go to Tyreek Hill in his career stats against the Bills. These are things I like to do. How has a player been doing recently? How does he do against an opponent? How does he do home versus road? Tyreek Hill against the Buffalo Bills in his career has never hit over 70 receiving yards. The most he's ever had against the Buffalo Bills in one game in his career is 69 receiving yards. So I would not believe in Hill getting over 100 receiving yards today. Tua is playing tight end. No, I think that would be a concussion waiting to happen. Live bet the Jags when they were down to... For all of those out there, by the way, live betting is one of my favorite things to do. I did it as well. When I got the Jaguars at +14 yesterday when they were down 27 points or 21 points. I forget what it was. It was around that time. I got them at +14. I put down 4 units on that. I felt really confident that they weren't going to lose by 2 touchdowns. Not only that, but we had them covering by the original spread. We had them winning on a number of games. In our NFL playoff bracket that we built yesterday live on TikTok Live and on YouTube, We actually had Jacksonville advancing. We went 2-0 yesterday, so our bracket is still alive. If you want to see all of my picks in that NFL bracket, we put that video up on YouTube. Go check it out. Butt Fumble Sports is our channel. You can check out that video. I believe it's about 10, 15 minutes long. We went through every game. I took you through every game, the team I like to win, which one will advance, who's going to win the Super Bowl. If you want to check that out, go to our YouTube channel, Butt Fumble Sports. You can check out that video. By the way, one quick note, Giants, the New York Giants, one of the reasons I like them covering today, the Giants have the best against the spread record this season. They went 13-4 against the spread this year. Unbelievable. Now, maybe that's because a lot of people were doubting Daniel Jones and Brian Daboll and the New York Giants, and Vegas was giving them a more favorable spread. But that said, Giants against the spread this year, 13-4, the best in the NFL throughout the course of the season. Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. And that's right, Butt Fumble Sports is taking you right up until kickoff of the Dolphins-Bills game. We've been live for an hour. By the way, boy, that went by fast because we're having so much fun talking sports and answering all of your questions. By the way, thank you for the wait, getting really strong here as we answer all of your betting, NFL playoff questions. We have one more hour to go. One more hour to go. We'll be live on TikTok and on YouTube for another hour, taking you right up until kickoff of the Dolphins-Bills game. By the way, we're almost to 8,000 likes. Once we hit 8,000 likes, we'll do another quick poll question. This next poll question will be about two of the running backs that are playing today and which one will have more rushing yards. You don't want to miss it. Keep hitting that like button. We just hit the 8,000 likes, so you guys are awesome. Make sure, by the way, once we do go off the air, make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and make sure you're going to our website. There's a link in the bio, buttfumblesports.com. Make sure you're going to the website. Okay, we hit 8,000 likes because you guys are freaking awesome. So let's do another quick poll question, okay? The next quick poll question, again, how these work, I ask you guys the question, you guys give the answer, and then I give my analysis after we get the results in. So, doing another quick poll question, because we hit 8,000 likes. This quick poll question, which running back will have more rushing yards today? One more time. Which running back will have more rushing yards today? Smiley face for Saquon Barkley, crying face for Joe Mixon. Wait 1 second, one more time before you guys vote. Which running back will have more rushing yards today? Smiley face for Saquon Barkley, crying face for Joe Mixon. Let's do this quick poll question and let's get it started. Which running back will have more rushing yards today? Smiley face for Saquon Barkley, crying face for Joe Mixon. Let us know what you guys think answering this quick poll question. Which running back will have more rushing yards today? Smiley face for Saquon Barkley, crying face for Joe Mixon. Thus far, Joe Mixon not getting a lot of love. Smiley face for Saquon Barkley, crying face for Joe Mixon. Which running back will get more rushing yards today? Doing a quick poll question because we hit 8,000 likes. Every time we hit another 2,000 likes, we do a quick poll. This one, which running back will have more rushing yards today? Smiley face for Saquon Barkley, crying face for Joe Mixon. A few of you guys are just blowing this one off. You think it's an obvious one. Smiley face for Saquon Barkley, crying face for Joe Mixon. Which running back will have more rushing yards today? Few seconds left. You guys say Saquon Barkley. Okay, that wasn't as good a poll question as I thought. I think it's Saquon Barkley as well. The reason I feel that way, the Baltimore Ravens are one of the best defenses against the run in the NFL. Ever since they traded for Roquan Smith, they've been a top 5 rushing defense. The Baltimore Ravens allow 92 rushing yards per game. The Vikings allow 123. I like Saquon Barkley today to do some damage. That said, Joe Mixon anytime touchdown is a player prop bet that I really like today. So if we could throw that up on YouTube, a player prop bet that I really like today is Joe Mixon anytime touchdown. And I'm combining that in a parlay so I get better odds with a Cincinnati Bengals win. So one more time, the Butt Fumble Sports player prop bet that I like for Bengals Ravens is Joe Mixon anytime touchdown plus a Cincinnati win. I'm getting that at even odds. I'm putting down a unit and a half on that. Really like that player. Plus a Cincinnati win. Joe Mixon has a touchdown in 3 of his last 4 games against the Baltimore Ravens. That's why I'm going with that player prop bet. LGP Elite. Does that mean take their over rushing yards? For Saquon Barkley, it does. For Joe Mixon, I prefer the under. No sharding over here. But Fumble Sports is handing out picks. We're not making that kind of noise. Make sure you're following us at But Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. Where can you live bet? Well, I don't know for the state of Florida. One place I've been betting for years, this isn't an endorsement. They don't pay me. This is not an endorsement. By the way, for sportsbooks that want to, I'm absolutely available. But I've been using Bovada for years. You can do live betting through Bovada. So no, they're not a sponsor. They don't endorse me. This isn't a plug. It's just the sportsbook I use. I'm more than willing to try out other sportsbooks, though, to try to find the best one. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you follow us at But Fumble Sports. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at But Fumble Sports. Jeffrey asks, Joe Mixon, Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley, is that a good anytime touchdown 3-leg parlay? Well, I like Mixon and I like Barkley. I'm not as crazy about Cook. Obviously, I like it just because I feel like they're going to get touches in the red zone. But Dalvin Cook is going up against a better run defense than the other two. So for that, or at least than Barkley, rather. So I do like it, but I'm not crazy about Cook. I prefer Barkley and Mixon. Alex asks, Justin Jefferson and Barkley anytime touchdown. I do have bets down on both of those. I really like Saquon Barkley. And during the course of our show, I looked into the research, and I do like Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown. Joe Burrow over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I haven't looked at that stat yet, so let's check that out. Let's check out Joe Burrow career stats against the Ravens. So how I like to put together my player prop bet picks, I like to go to a player's recent production, see how they perform, as well as look at how they play against certain opponents. So Joe Burrow, in his last 2 games against the Baltimore Ravens, only has one touchdown in each game. So in this season, he only has 2 passing touchdowns against the Ravens, 1 in each game. A bit surprising. So Joe Burrow over 1.5 passing touchdowns isn't as good a play as one might think. Dobbins, will he gain over 100 rushing yards? Let's check out J.K. Dobbins' stats. How has J.K. Dobbins been performing lately? He hasn't had over 100 rushing yards his last 2 weeks. I feel like without Lamar Jackson, teams are a bit more focused on him. I'm not crazy about J.K. Dobbins going over 100. I feel like that's a little high. Do you like Dawson Knox over 3 receptions in an easy matchup? Let's check out Dawson Knox in his game log stats. Again, I like to look at recent production for players as well as how they performed against certain opponents. So Knox had 2 catches last week, 3 catches the week before. Not feeling crazy about the over receptions right now. Let's see how he's done against the Dolphins in his career. So in his last game against the Dolphins, he had 6 catches. The time before that, he had 4. But prior to that, he was around 2 catches a game. 3 catches, I really don't like it. I wouldn't touch it. If you're going to get over 3, I feel like it's going to be a push. I don't think he's going to get 6 receptions. I could see him getting 3, but 4 seems a little high. You like Dak, Burrow, or Allen over 1.5 passing touchdowns? I love Josh Allen over 1.5 passing touchdowns. That's one of my favorite bets today. Josh Allen has at least 2 passing touchdowns in every game he's ever played against the Dolphins. So Josh Allen over 1.5 passing touchdowns is a cashed ticket to me. It's one I have to bet. I do like Dak over 1.5 passing touchdowns as well, I think. I want to double check that before I offer it. Joe Burrow, though, I'm not crazy about. I really don't like Joe Burrow over 1.5 passing touchdowns like I did. I think Dak's going to get over. Let's see how Dak has done in his career against the Bucs. So just doing some research, someone asked, how do I feel about Dak Prescott? Man, I really don't like that parlay. Dak, Burrow, and Allen over 1.5 passing touchdowns. The only one I have a lot of confidence in is Josh Allen. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. And if you want to get all my game picks, total plays, and player prop bets all in one place, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. The link is in our bio. The link's in our bio. Go to our website, buttfumblesports.com, and sign up for the free newsletter. In that newsletter, you'll get all my game picks, player prop bets, and as well as the gambling trends and game notes that go into it. So if you don't agree with me or you want to know what the logic is behind my picks, you'll get all of that in our free newsletter. Go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Again, the link is in the bio. Sign up for the free newsletter. You'll get everything in one place. Allen over 2.5 total touchdowns. Wyatt, while I like 1.5 passing touchdowns more, over 2.5 total touchdowns, I'd probably take that as well. I love the Buffalo Bills today. I think they're going to have a massive game, especially if Damar Hamlin shows up or leads them out onto the field. It's Buffalo by 1 billion for me. But Josh Allen over 2.5 touchdowns, I actually think I like that. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And for King J, if you want to hear my rants about teams, games, outcomes, coaches, players, you can check out our rant videos on TikTok, on our account, and of course on our YouTube channel, buttfumblesports.com. Speaking of rants, the LA Chargers had one of the worst performances yesterday in that second half. That was on a Falcons. Actually, might have been the best thing that could possibly happen to the Chargers. Brandon Staley is not the right head coach for the Chargers. I know that this team made the playoffs, but he has made terrible coaching decisions time after time. They didn't have Mike Williams yesterday because Brandon Staley screwed up the week before. I thought his coaching decisions yesterday, whether it was the timeouts, whether it was the challenge, whether it was how he told his team, they didn't run the ball enough in the second half. It reminded me of the Falcons in that Super Bowl against the Patriots. Run the ball, bleed as much clock. When you have a 4-touchdown, 3-touchdown lead, just bleed as much clock as possible. For that reason alone, Brandon Staley is not the right head coach for the Chargers. He can't develop Justin Herbert as well as some other coaches could, and he's not a good game manager. The Chargers should move on from Brandon Staley. They should go after Sean Payton. Sean Payton with Justin Herbert is a match made in heaven. We saw yesterday what Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence combined can do for a young quarterback, his development going to the next level. That's what we want to see from Justin Herbert. The talent is there. The coaching isn't right now. The Chargers need to fire Brandon Staley. They need to hire Sean Payton. Sean Payton is interviewing for jobs. He's interviewing with the Broncos later this week. So Brandon Staley out. Go after Sean Payton. Make him a mega offer. Yeah, you're going to have to trade picks with the New Orleans Saints. So what? It's totally worth it. Sean Payton is absolutely worth the cost. Think about trades in history involving coaches. One of them was Bill Belichick. You think the Patriots would make that trade over again? If I'm the LA Chargers, I do whatever it takes to get Sean Payton on the sidelines coaching Justin Herbert. If you like rants like I just gave, make sure you're following us on TikTok, our rant videos, and know my take on everything going down in the NFL. Do you like the under in the Bills game? I am leaning towards the under. I'm not crazy about it only because I think there could be a backdoor over cover. But for now, I do like the under play. It really speaks to how the Bills are just going to suffocate the Dolphins' offense. I think the Bills are going to score a ton of points, but I do like the under in that game. Speaking of which, if you want additional blog content, you can go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. The link is in the bio. We're going to be putting out a lot of blog content in the coming weeks, especially about every team that gets eliminated. Our NFL staff is putting up write-ups together about every team that gets eliminated, what they need for the offseason, in the draft, in free agency, how teams can get better in the 2023 offseason. So if you want to check out your team, how we think they should build for the next year, or if you want to see our thoughts on all these other teams, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com, tag it, bookmark it, make it a part of your weekly content read. We'll be putting out a lot of content in the coming weeks. Once we hit 10,000 likes, we'll do another quick poll question, so keep hitting that like button. Once we hit that like button to get up to 10,000 likes, we will do another quick poll question. The best defense for a pick six today, that's got to be the Buffalo Bills, in my opinion. I feel like there's a decent chance that they could get a score today. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at Buttfumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and on YouTube. And of course, hit that like button. We just hit 10,000 likes because you guys are absolutely incredible. So let's do another quick poll question. We have about 45 minutes left of our show. So hopefully we can get in a few more of these poll questions. We have a lot of fun doing them. For those who have just joined, how we do them, I put out a poll question. You guys answer it. Once we get in the results, I give out my analysis and my pick. That's how we do these poll questions. So our next poll question, because we hit 10,000 likes, which underdog is more likely to cover? Which underdog is more likely to cover the spread? Smiley face if you like the Dolphins plus 14. Crying face if you like the Ravens at plus 8.5. Wait 1 second before you vote. Here's the quick poll question one more time. Which underdog is more likely to cover the spread today? Smiley face Dolphins plus 14. Crying face Ravens plus 8.5. Let's do this quick poll question. Which underdog is more likely to cover the spread? Smiley face for the Dolphins plus 14, crying face for the Ravens plus 8.5. Which team is more likely to cover the spread? Dolphins plus 14, hit the smiley face. If you like the Ravens, crying face. Make sure you follow us at Buttfumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. If you like the Dolphins to cover the spread, hit the smiley face. If you like the Ravens to cover the spread, hit the crying face. Make sure you're following us at Buttfumble Sports. This has been a very one-sided. Does anyone, we finally got one. One person think the Dolphins are going to cover the spread. Just one person thinks the Dolphins are going to cover the spread. I agree with all of you guys out there. I like the Baltimore Ravens to cover the spread. I'm not betting it, but of the two underdogs, I think the Dolphins have no chance today. I like the Buffalo Bills by 1,000,000. McKenzie, anytime touchdown. Kanye, I don't like it. McKenzie is too much of a risk. He's not utilized in the offense enough. So while I think there is a chance, tell me what the odds you're getting on that anytime touchdown. If the odds are good enough, I might tell you to put half a unit down on it and just to have some fun. But Isaiah McKenzie, anytime touchdown, that seems like too long a bet for me. Let's check it out. I'm going to my sports book, and I'm seeing what they have Isaiah McKenzie at. So Isaiah McKenzie, anytime touchdown. I don't even see it. That's how much my sports book doesn't like that bet. I don't even see it. Yeah, McKenzie is inactive. Yeah, no wonder my sports book's saying that. So no, my Isaiah McKenzie anytime touchdown. I hate that bet today. Make sure you're following us at Buttfumble Sports. Husky, I agree with you. Bengals and Bills are a lock today. Put those into some parlays. Maybe you want to do a parlay. I would recommend this. If you want to do some parlays, 3-game parlays for today's games, this is how I would bet. Bills on the money line, Bengals on the money line, and then I would have two different bets. One with the Giants covering +3, and one with the Vikings on the money line. You could cash both tickets, but no matter what, you're going to cash one of them. So again, I would take Bills on the money line, I would take Bengals on the money line, and then I would have two different bets. One bet would be Giants to cover the spread. If I put down, I'm getting that at plus 109. That's Giants covering the spread, Bills on the money line, and Bengals on the money line. I'm getting that at plus 109. So that's worth it. That's a 3-game parlay for today. Another parlay that I'm building, going in a different direction. Same 2 basic bets, Bills on the money line, Bengals on the money line, but I'll also take Vikings on the money line. If I put that down, I'm getting that at plus 117. So right there, I just built you 2 parlays, 3-leg parlays. Both could cash. Both you're getting plus money on them. I feel like it's worth it to put a unit down on them. So those are 2 3-leg parlays we just built together. Both could cash, but no matter what, one of them is going to cash. That's worth it to me. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And again, for all of those who want to get all of my picks in one place, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. The link is in the bio. Hit that link, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com, and sign up for the free newsletter. In that free newsletter every week, you get all of my game picks, the game pick, total play, the spread play, but you also get the gambling trends and game notes that go into it. So whether you agree with me or you disagree, you know what my logic is, you know what went into my thinking, and that way you can make a decision for yourself. I'm trying to entertain, provide information. If you guys want to tail or fade, that's up to you, but I want to provide the information. All up for it now. Hit that link in the bio, buttfumblesports.com, and sign up for the free newsletter. What was the money line again? That's Bills on the money line, Bengals on the money line, and then I'm splitting that middle game between the Giants and the Vikings. I have 2 different bets. In both bets, I've got Bengals and Bills on the money line, but then what differs in the 2 bets is I have Giants to cover the spread in one, and I have Vikings on the money line in the other. Those both could cash. One of the reasons I'm not going money line on each one is if the Giants, lose or Giants win, okay, one of those tickets cashes, one of them doesn't. But the way we just built these 2 3-leg parlays, both of these could cash today. That's exactly what you want. One of them will for sure in my mind because the Bills and Bengals are going to win. But both of those could cash based on how that Vikings-Giants game goes. That's why I just gave out. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. If you guys love our picks, make sure you go to our website, check out our content. We put out a lot of blog content, not just the NFL. We're going to be covering games, game picks for the NFL, college basketball, and everything. So we're a place for sports betting, fantasy sports, everything you guys need. How many touchdowns for Miami today? Over under 1.5. Ooh, man, that is tight. I almost want to take the under. I almost want to take the under 1.5. I can maybe see them getting 2, but I'm not crazy about it. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. The best defense for a pick 6 today, like I mentioned earlier, is the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, 10 points, Jeffrey, that seems right. Like 10, 13 points. I could see them getting some field goals, but 1 touchdown feels right. Whether it's a Jalen Waddle or Tyreek Hill, broken play for a touchdown, or whether it's Jeff Wilson Jr., I can't really tell, but I really don't like Miami's offense to put up too many points today. I'd feel better about it, obviously, if Tua were on the field or if Teddy Bridgewater were healthy, but Skylar Thompson, do I really expect him to throw 2 touchdowns today? I really don't. Dat boy Sean, sorry, I'm going in the other direction. I'd rather have Diggs and Davis today. Part of the reason for that, Josh Allen has at least 2 passing touchdowns in every game he's ever played against the Miami Dolphins. So I really like Josh Allen today, and therefore I like his receivers. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and hit that link in our bio. Check out our website, buttfumblesports.com. You can get merchandise, sign up for the free newsletter, and we're going to be posting blog content starting next week. A lot of content coming your way at buttfumblesports.com. Okay, we did this a little bit earlier. I want to give out some gambling trends for you guys around the Ravens-Bengals game. These are gambling trends for the Ravens-Bengals game. Ravens and Bengals kick off at 8:15 tonight on NBC. Ravens are 10-7. Bengals are 12-4. Where I saw it originally, the line was 9. It shifted to 8.5. In either case, large spread in this game. Some gambling trends for you. The road team is 6-2-1 against the spread in the last 9 meetings between the two teams. The Ravens are 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 playoff road games, while the Bengals are 9-1-1 against the spread in their last 11 home games. Again, Bengals are 9-1-1 against the spread in their last 11 home games. But what I really love in this game, what comes out of the trends, is the under is a great play for me. The under. The under is 5-1 in the Ravens' last 6 games overall. The under is 4-0 in the Bengals' last 4 home playoff games. And the under is 4-0 in the Ravens' last 4 playoff games. The under is a popular play in that Ravens-Bengals game based on all these trends. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. Roster Adams, we looked into Joe Burrow over-under passing touchdowns. Let's check out that passing yards total. I haven't looked at that passing yards total for Joe Burrow. Let's see what that is. Ravens are much better against the run than they are against the pass, so Joe Burrow could have opportunities in the passing game today. So let's see what my sports book is setting it at. They're setting it at Joe Burrow over-under passing yards at 270.5. 270.5. Again, how I like to do research for my player prop bets is I like to look at a player's recent production. I go to their game log on ESPN. So Joe Burrow game log. I like to see how he's performed over the last few weeks. So the total they have set today at 270.5. He's only hit that once in the last 4 weeks. Not a great trend, just saying. I also like to go to the home road splits. Joe Burrow has fewer passing yards at home than he does on the road. Another trend that I'm not crazy about. And finally, Joe Burrow, in his last 2 games against the Ravens, had 215 and 217 passing yards. Now, last year, he had 525 and 416 passing yards against the Ravens. So last year against the Ravens, Joe Burrow put up massive passing yards. This year hasn't been the case. For that reason, in live time, I'm going to take the under. I'm going to go Joe Burrow under 270.5 passing yards. I'm only going to put 1 unit down on that. Not too much money. 1 unit down on it. But I'm getting that at minus 115. That's total passing yards for Joe Burrow, 270.5. Based off of the research I just did, I'm going to go with the under. I know the Ravens aren't as good against the pass as they are against the run, but I do like the under in that one. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. And make sure you're going to our website, buttfumblesports.com. The link is in the bio. So the Ravens have a bottom 10 pass defense, allowing 232 pass yards per game. But that said, Joe Burrow, the trends just lean against it. I'm taking the under passing yards for Joe Burrow. Allen over 2.5 passing touchdowns. Well, I love Allen over 1.5 touchdowns today. That's one of my favorite player prop bets of the day. I got that at minus 165, so I love that player prop bet. 2.5, I do like that one as well. Not as much, obviously. Dawson Knox over 34.5 receiving yards. With 4.5 receiving yards, I'd avoid it. Barkley over 73.5 rushing yards. I do take that one. I would lean towards over on Barkley's 73.5 rushing yards. As for Justin Jefferson on an anytime touchdown, Jason, I do like it. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Will the Bengals win by at least 3 points? Yes, they will. If you can tease that down and get Bengals at -3, I really do like that bet. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and on YouTube. Jamar Chase over 79.5 receiving yards. Jorge, I like that one. But the player prop bet that I really like for Jamar Chase is over receptions. His over receptions, I'm getting that at I believe 6.5. I know that seems really high, but Jamar Chase averages 7.5 catches in his 4 performances against the Baldwin catches in a game against the Ravens. In his 4 games, he has 8, 7, 7, and 8 catches. So Jamar Chase over receiving yards, Jamar Chase anytime touchdown, and Jamar Chase over his receptions. I like all 3 of those. I'm definitely loaded up on Jamar Chase today. Got Bills -4 and Bengals even to win 1,000. Wow. Well, obviously I love that. That sounds amazing. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and sign up for the free newsletter. The free newsletter on our website, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for that free newsletter. All my picks in one place. Game picks, total plays, and player prop bets. And not just that. If you want to know the research that goes into my picks, that's available in the newsletter as well. So you don't have to take my picks at face value. You can see the gambling trends and game notes that go into them. That way you're just as informed as I am. If you want to tail, if you want to fade, you know what went into my pick. That way you're just as smart as everybody else on why I went with the picks I did. Make sure you sign up for the free newsletter, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for that free newsletter. And again, we're going to be dropping some NFL merchandise later today. There's certainly plenty of Butt Fumble Sports merchandise up there. But if you're a Giants fan, a 49ers fan, a Bills, Dolphins, Bengals fan, you're going to want to go to our website later today. We're going to drop some NFL merchandise. You won't want to miss it. buttfumblesports.com. James Cook over rushing yards, 37.5. Lizard, I like that one. I'm not crazy about it, but I do like it simply because I think James Cook has shown flashes when he does get touches. Dobbins and Mark Andrews over half a touchdown. I'm avoiding that, Jason. I'm not touching the Baltimore Ravens offense. Sure, Dobbins and Andrews are probably the best options in the red zone if you want to do it for an anytime touchdown and put half a unit or 1 unit down, but I wouldn't risk too much. Dak over 264.5 total yards. I do like that one in part because the Buccaneers defense is much better against the run. So if the Cowboys are going to move the ball tomorrow night, I feel like it's going to be Dak passing it. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. You want to know every time we go live. We'll be going live a lot throughout the playoffs. Every time we go live, we give out a lot of cash tickets, a lot of advice. So make sure you're following Butt Fumble Sports. Okay, Jorge's parlay. Justin Jefferson over 94.5 receiving yards. Okay, I like it. I think he'll get 100. I think you're going to be stressing it a little, but I like it. Chase over 79.5 receiving yards. I'm going to go with that one as well. Like it. Saquon Barkley over 72.5 rushing yards. Will be tight, but I like it. Josh Allen over 48.5 rush yards. Ooh, I think I like it, but I'm not sure, only because given how this game will play out, will Josh Allen want to take some risk by putting his body in harm's way? Let's look at the game log stats for him on his rushing yards. So the rushing yards for Allen set at 48.5. He's only hit that once over the last 5 weeks. So I actually don't like the rushing yards total for Josh Allen. I do like Diggs, Saquon, Chase, and Justin Jefferson hitting their overs. I think Diggs I'm not crazy about really. I'll lean a little bit towards the over. But Josh Allen, I don't like the over on the rushing yards. That's for Jorge. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports, and make sure you're following our website, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for that free newsletter. Okay, Ross Paquin, Tyler Boyd over 33.5 receiving yards. Okay, let's do our research on Tyler Boyd. Again, for those who just joined us, when I look up a player prop bet, the things I like to do, I like to look at their recent production. I like to look at their home road splits, and I like to look at how a player has done against a certain opponent in his career, especially if they're a divisional opponent, because they have such frequency, the sample size is large enough. Okay, so over under Boyd, 33.5 receiving yards. Boyd hit over that last week, but you got to keep in mind T. Higgins was banged up in that game, so that might be a bit of an outlier. Boyd has hit over 33.5 receiving yards against the Ravens in 3 of the last 4 games that he's played against the Ravens. That said, Boyd's he's hit the over 33.5 receiving yards in 2 of his last 4 games. I think it's a bit of a risk. Ross, I'll say the over just slightly. I think it's going to be like 35 yards. So I don't think it's a great bet. I don't think it's worth betting. But I do think he'll hit the over if you want to put half a unit down on it or a unit. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. And by the way, if you like these player prop bets that I put out, check out our Instagram account at Fumble Sports. All of my player prop bets are there, the ones that I really like. I put out 6 for this Sunday, 2 on each game. Make sure you go to our Instagram account and check that out. You'll obviously want to follow our Instagram account. That way you know every time I put out a player prop bet. Jorge, Joe Burrow under 270. Yep, I'm going in the under in that direction, only based on the trends and stats that we looked up just a moment ago. J.K. Dobbins. Okay, over 2.5 pass and rush touchdowns for Allen. I do like that one. Yep, I like that one. Jay Stoltz, I like that. For all of those out there, make sure you're following us. And for those watching on YouTube, appreciate your support. Hope you've been enjoying the broadcast. We've gone for now an hour and 40 minutes. For those on YouTube, make sure you're subscribing. You can see we've got unbelievable graphics. We put up our player prop bets. We also put up our poll questions. We put up our NFL player brackets. We put up our parlay pyramid. So if you're watching on YouTube, you get the benefit of all of these graphics. So if you miss something I say, you can see it right there in the visual. So for all of those on TikTok, if you want to also watch on YouTube, Fumble Sports is the channel. Joe Burrow under 24.5 completions. Ooh. So Joe Burrow's averaging 25.5 completions in his career against the Ravens. And let's look at his recent game log. He's been pretty consistent. He's hit over 20. He's hit 25 or over completions in 3 straight games. 4 of his last 5. Okay, I will go over 25 completions for Joe Burrow. I'm not crazy about it, but the trends say he's going to hit about 25. So I'm going to lean just slightly towards the over and bank that he's going to hit 25. Josh Allen, over or under 258.5 passing yards. He didn't hit it last week against the Patriots. He hasn't hit it in 2 weeks, but he had 300 passing yards against the Miami Dolphins. Keep in mind, the Dolphins against the pass are one of the worst defenses against the pass. They're the 6th worst defense against the pass. So I do like Josh Allen over his passing yards total. That actually is a player prop bet that I like. If we could throw that one up on YouTube so everyone can see it. That's Josh Allen over his total passing yards. I got that at 255.5 last night. Jorge is asking if 258.5 is a good play. I still like it. That's Josh Allen over his total passing yards. I got that at minus 115. Do I like Giants on the money line? No, I don't. I like Giants to cover. I would buy the 1.5, get Giants plus 4.5. I really like that play. But I cover today. The Giants are actually the best team in the NFL against the spread this year. The Giants went 13-4 in the regular season against the spread. Best in the NFL. I like the Giants to cover once again today. Okay, user 345, TJ Hawkinson to score. So this is a tricky one for me. Tyler Hawkinson had a monster game against the Giants when they faced off earlier this year. One of the best games of his career. That lends me to believe he could have a big game today. The only reason that I actually didn't put any money down on Hawkinson to score a touchdown is because Xavier McKinney of the Giants is back. Their safety is healthy. Giants is back. Limit Hawkinson a little bit. I do think Hawkinson Touchdown, I would put half a unit on it. It depends on what you're getting. You better be getting plus money on it. I wouldn't take it at minus money, but if you got Hawkinson at like plus 130 or better, I think I would throw half a unit or 1 unit down on an anytime touchdown. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. Jay Stoltz, if you want to check out all the player prop bets I like, check out our Instagram account at Fumble Sports. That actually, the question you asked is one of them. Do I like over 6.5 receptions for Jamar Chase? Yes, I do. Jamar Chase has had 7 receptions or more in all 4 games he's ever played against the Baltimore Ravens. He averages 7.5 catches. So I like Jamar Chase over 6.5 receptions today against the Ravens. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Jacob, who would you pick in daily fantasy as a quarterback today? That's a really easy one for me. It would be Josh Allen. If you look to our DFS lineup that we built prior to the start of Wild Card Weekend, I started Josh Allen. His stats against the Dolphins are outstanding. He has at least 2 passing touchdowns in every game he's ever played against the Ravens. For that reason and more, I like Josh Allen as the best quarterback to play in DFS for Sunday and for Wild Card Weekend. Appreciate all of you joining us. We just have 20 minutes left before kickoff on CBS between the Buffalo Bills, who are hosting the Miami Dolphins. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And again, if you want all of my picks in one place, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. The link is in the bio. Hit the link in the bio. Go to our website and sign up for the free newsletter. The free newsletter comes out every week right before the weekend, so you get all of my picks in one place. And not just the game pick, total play, or player prop bets, but also the strategy, advice, and stats that go into it. The game stats and notes, the gambling trends, everything that goes into my picks. So you're not just getting the answer or the pick, you're also getting the reason why. Sign up for that free newsletter, buttfumblesports.com. Again, the link is in the bio. Will Gabe Davis have a big game or the usual 10 points or less in DFS? Yeah, Gabe Davis is such a hit or miss. Like, honestly, I have to admit, I actually hate playing Gabe Davis because I feel like when I don't play him, he has like 3 touchdowns and 150 yards. And when I do play him, he goes for 3 catches and like 40 yards. So this is the one thing I do want to check. Gabe Davis, career stats versus the Dolphins. Like I said, I always like to check how a player has done in his career against a certain opponent, especially if it's a divisional opponent. So Gabe Davis, over his last 4 games against the Dolphins, the most yards he has is 56. So he's only gotten a touchdown in one of the last 4 games he has against the Dolphins. There are a lot of reasons why for me to kind of fade Gabe Davis in this one. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. If you want all of my game picks, you can go to buttfumblesports.com and sign up for the free newsletter, or you can check out our game pick videos on TikTok or on YouTube. Fumble Sports is the channel. We have just 15 minutes left before the kickoff of the 1 p.m. games. Thank you so much for the paper crane. Appreciate you guys giving us gifts, support, hitting that like button. We've had an amazing hour and 45-minute show thus far. 15 minutes left to go. Make sure you're throwing your questions in the chat. Jason's been asking Dobbins or Andrews anytime touchdown. I mentioned that earlier. I'm not crazy about it. And as for Dak over total yards, I said yes. So we answered that question, Jason. Jorge, I answered your question a while ago as well. I told you I didn't like Burrow over passing yards. I liked Allen over. I liked Chase over. I liked Jefferson over. So the only one, Jorge, I don't like out of that group is Joe Burrow. CJ asked Josh Allen over 1.5 passing touchdowns and Diggs any timer. I wouldn't have them as combined. So I wouldn't have them as a parlay. I don't think that's what you're doing, CJ. I'm just making sure because that plus sign is there. I love Josh Allen over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Love, love, love. One of my favorite bets of the day. He's had at least 2 passing touchdowns in every game he's ever had against the Dolphins. So I love that play. Josh Allen getting 2 touchdowns. That's a cash ticket waiting to happen. As for Diggs, anytime touchdown, I don't feel as good about that one, CJ. That's the reason I wouldn't parlay the 2 together. That said, if you did put money down on Diggs anytime touchdown, don't do it alone. Do Diggs anytime touchdown and parlay that with a Bills win. Because if Diggs is going to score a touchdown, the Bills are going to win. By the way, the Bills are going to win probably anyways. So if you're going to put money down on Diggs anytime touchdown, make sure it's the parlay play where it's anytime touchdown plus a Bills win. That's going to take you to better odds. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. James Cook anytime touchdown. Brandon, if you're going to do it, put half a unit down on it. Bit of a long shot. I'm not crazy about it, so I wouldn't necessarily do it. Bills-Dolphins score prediction. Okay, a score prediction on the Bills and Dolphins. I'm going to say 30-13, which means the under will hit. I'm going to say 30-13, the Buffalo Bills win. 30-13, Buffalo Bills win. That means the under hits, and that means the Bills cover. So again, the Fumble Sports score pick, we usually don't put out a score prediction, but if I would say 30-13, the Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins. Is Von Miller playing today? No, I believe Von Miller's out for the year. Josh Allen over 250 passing yards. That's another player prop bet that I really like today. Love Josh Allen over total passing yards. Jorge, I don't like Joe Burrow. Not crazy about that one in that parlay. Jeffrey, 30-13. That's going to be my score prediction for Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins. That means the under would hit. The Bills would obviously cover the spread, and Bills on the money line. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. That way you know every time we go live on TikTok and on YouTube, so you can ask questions, hear my analysis, and obviously engage with us before every game. Oh, Jorge, now I got you. By the way, appreciate all of you guys supporting us, all you guys watching us. We had an unbelievable show today. Appreciate all the support you guys show us. Make sure you go to buttfumblesports.com. The link is in the bio. Again, the link is in the bio, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for the free newsletter so you can get all my picks and all my analysis in one place. And while you're there, buy some merch. Buy some Fumble Sports hoodies, hats, t-shirts. We're also going to be putting out not just Fumble Sports generic stuff, but team-specific stuff as I play my guitar. Fumble Sports will have team-specific stuff. So if you're a big Giants fan, 49ers fan, Bills fan, Bucks fan, Cowboys fan, we've got a lot of merchandise coming out this week and over the next few weeks. You're going to want to check this out. I guarantee these are some great designs. You'll want to check out our merch store, buttfumblesports.com. Again, the link is in the bio, so hit that link button, bookmark that page, come back a couple times this week, check out our new apparel and merchandise. I guarantee you won't want to miss it. Jorge, appreciate the support. Appreciate all of you guys joining us and supporting us. We do a lot of work throughout the week to try to give you guys a lot of information so you guys can cash some tickets. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. Again, the DFS lineup that I put out prior to Wild Card Weekend does have Josh Allen at quarterback. I love Josh Allen today. I think he throws at least 2 touchdowns, if not 3. He could run for a touchdown as well. I also love his total passing yards play, him going over that. So my DFS lineup does have Josh Allen as my starting quarterback. I also have Darius Slayton and James Cook in there. Those were 2 guys at a lesser price that I thought were good plays. Darius Slayton especially going up against that Vikings pass defense that's absolutely atrocious. So I have Josh Allen as my quarterback and Darius Slayton and James Cook as 2 of my DFS players. Do I like Skylar Thompson? No, I don't. Gabe Davis touchdown, I'm not crazy about. Singletary touchdown, I'm not crazy about. Yeah, DeBrock, I'm not feeling, you're putting down a lot of money on some of these. Here's the point. You're going to hit on a couple of these. The problem is, I don't know if you're going to hit on enough of them to cover your cost. So I'm not crazy about some of these. I like Jefferson anytime touchdown, but he's the only one I feel really confident in. Make sure you subscribe to our TikTok channel as well. That way you know every time we go live, and you get you get exclusive offerings if you subscribe to us on TikTok. Josh Allen over Zeke for an anytime touchdown? Probably not. Zeke has been such a consistent anytime touchdown ticket. While I like Allen maybe getting into the end zone today, Zeke has been too consistent to not like more tomorrow. Ethan asks or says the Bills will win the Super Bowl. I have, if you watched our NFL playoff bracket builder yesterday, we went through every game of the NFL playoffs, the wild card round, the divisional round, the conference championship, and the Super Bowl. I gave my pick for every game. By the way, we went 2-0 yesterday, so that playoff bracket is still good. But that said, I do have the Bills going to the Super Bowl. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. Fins win by 2 in the final 2 minutes. Well, put your nose here. Here's what I'll say. We're going to do another pregame show tomorrow before the Bucks and Cowboys game. If you're right, make sure you come back tomorrow and talk your smack. Let me know I was wrong, because I'm going to say it to you now. I have no way. I do not believe the Dolphins have any chance of winning this game today. I like the Bills on the money line. I like the Bills to cover the spread. The score prediction I have is 30-13 Buffalo Bills. Yesterday, I felt just as confident about the San Francisco 49ers, and they covered the spread. So, Dolphins fans, I'm sorry. I'm not a supporter of you today. I think Bills big. Do I think the Bills will be favored against the Chiefs? In a neutral site, I'll be interested to know what Vegas does. I think a lot will have to do with the health status of players like Jordan Poyer and others, but I would lean towards the Bills being favored. I think they actually have the better roster despite not being the number 1 seed. Any running backs you like over their rushing yards total? I'm not crazy about any of them. I do kind of like James Cook. That might be one on an over rushing yards total that I would consider. Saquon Barkley is another one, though anytime touchdown I feel like is the better play. But that said, there aren't too many running backs. I like the passing game for a number of players today. So I like Daniel Jones, Josh Allen. In the passing game today, Jamar Chase is a receiver. You think the Bills are going to choke today? If the Bills choke today at home, it would be one of the most colossal chokes. The favored team by 2 touchdowns with all the emotional baggage they're carrying and momentum. If the Bills lost today, it would be the ultimate upset. 21-23 Fins? Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I know you're a Who Day fan, but I can tell you're hoping that things work out for your Bengals. They're not going to, so you can stop rooting with your heart, and you should start thinking with your head. Awesome. Gus Edwards or Samaje Perine? Gus Edwards for sure. Samaje Perine has the tougher matchup. The Ravens are one of the best defenses in the NFL against the run, so I much prefer Gus Edwards over Perine. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. And make sure you go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Hit the link in our bio, go to buttfumblesports.com, and sign up for the free newsletter. In that free newsletter, you'll get my game picks every week, including the gambling notes and the game notes that go into it, the gambling trends and game notes that go into my pick. That way you're not just getting a pick and riding or fading me without knowing the reason. This way you know the stats that made me think the way I do, the analysis that goes into it. Whether you agree or disagree, you'll be informed as to why I made that pick. So go to our website. The link again is in my bio, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for the free newsletter, and while you're there, buy some merchandise. We're going to be dropping some team-specific merchandise, stuff you will not want to miss. So make sure you bookmark that page and check out our store later today. Joe Burrow or Daniel Jones? I like Daniel Jones more. I think he's going to have more passing yards. I could see him also getting a rushing touchdown potentially. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports at TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. That's at Fumble Sports. Appreciate all of you guys joining us and supporting us. Unbelievable support you guys show us week in, week out. We've been going for an hour and 55 minutes. Just 5 minutes left of our live show. We do a pregame show for every NFL day. We'll do one tomorrow night as well. So make sure you're following us on TikTok. Make sure you're subscribing on YouTube. That way you know when we go live every single time we do. At Fumble Sports, we'll do a pregame show tomorrow night before the Monday night game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll probably start that TikTok live at 7 p.m. So make sure you're joining us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. We may start even earlier than that. That's why you got to be following. That's why you got to be subscribing. And if you subscribe on TikTok, You get exclusive offerings, so make sure you subscribe on TikTok as well. Subscribe on YouTube, but if you subscribe on TikTok, we'll make sure you have some additional offerings. Okay, one more time, we're going to go through all of my game picks, player prop bets, everything that you need to cash on this NFL Weekend Sunday Wildcard Weekend Parlay is what we built before the weekend started. We put down a $20 bet on 6 different picks. So this was a 6-leg parlay in which we bet $20 before the weekend kicked off. The reward was $117. We went 2-0 yesterday with the Jaguars covering and the 49ers on the money line. The 3 things we need to happen today to keep our parlay alive are Bills on the money line, Bengals on the money line, and the New York Giants to cover plus 4.5. If that happens, our parlay will be alive going into Monday night's game. So one more time for all those watching on YouTube, you can see the parlay graphic up on your screen. For those on TikTok, the 3 things that the parlay needs, the wildcard weekend parlay needs to happen to stay alive is Bills on the money line, Bengals on the money line, and the Giants to cover plus 4.5. Now I want to rattle through all of my player prop bets for today, NFL Sunday, wildcard weekend NFL Sunday. So here are all of my player prop bets. Hang in there. We're going to go through each one. For the first game, these are my favorite player prop bets of the day. Josh Allen, over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I'm getting that at minus 165. Again, these are my favorite player prop bets of NFL Sunday for Wild Card Weekend. The first one, Josh Allen, over 1.5 passing touchdowns, minus 165. The next one is Josh Allen, over 242.5 passing yards. I'm getting that at minus 115. That's over 255.5 passing yards for Josh Allen. I like the over passing yards for Josh Allen. That's over 255.5 passing yards for Josh Allen. I'm getting that at minus 115. These are the Fumble Sports player prop bets for NFL Sunday of Wild Card Weekend. Here are the 2 player prop bets that I love for the Giants-Vikings game. The first one is Daniel Jones, over 242.5 passing yards. I'm getting that at minus 115. The reason, playing a Vikings defense that allows 265 passing yards per game, second most in the NFL. Daniel Jones should be able to duplicate what he did earlier this year against the Vikings when he had 334 passing yards. So again, one of the player prop bets that I love for today is Daniel Jones, over 242.5 pass yards against the Minnesota Vikings. I'm getting that at minus 115. Another player prop bet that I love for Giants-Vikings is Richie James. Richie James, over 4.5 receptions. I'm getting that at minus 105. Again, that's Richie James, over 4.5 receptions. I'm getting that at minus 105. Why do I like that play? Richie James has at least 5 catches in 3 of his last 4 games, and including an 8-catch performance when the Giants played the Vikings a few weeks ago. So one more time, the 2 bets I love, player prop bets for the Vikings and Giants game, is Daniel Jones, over 242.5 pass yards, and Richie James, over 4.5 receptions. Those are my 2 favorite player prop bets for Giants and Vikings. The Fumble Sports player prop bets that I love for the Bengals and Ravens game on Sunday night of Wild Card Weekend start with Joe Mixon, anytime touchdown, but I'm going to parlay that with a Cincinnati win. Because I feel Cincinnati is a great money line play, this player prop bet I'm going to parlay with a Bengals win. So again, that's Joe Mixon, anytime touchdown, plus a Cincinnati win. I'm getting that at even odds. Anytime touchdown for Joe Mixon, plus a Cincinnati win parlay. I'm getting that at even odds. Joe Mixon has a touchdown in 3 of his last 4 games against the Baltimore Ravens. I know they're a good defense against the run. Between the 20s might be tough, but in the red zone, I like Joe Mixon scoring that touchdown and the Bengals winning, so that's a parlay I'm getting at even odds. The second player prop bet that I love for Ravens at Bengals is Jamar Chase. That's Jamar Chase, over 6.5 receptions. I'm getting that at even money. Again, Jamar Chase, over 6.5 receptions. I'm getting that at even money. The reason I love that play, Jamar Chase has at least 7 catches in every game he's played this in his career against the Ravens. He's played 4 games against the Ravens in his career. 8 7, 7, and 8 catches in those games. So I like Jamar Chase over 6.5 receptions on Sunday night for Wild Card Weekend. Appreciate all of you guys joining us, following us, supporting us. We just did a 2-hour pregame show straight, nonstop, and it was a lot of fun and went by super fast. Thanks to your support and engagement. Love you guys. So appreciate the Butt Fumble Sports community. For all of those out there, if you want to get my game picks all in one place, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Go to our free newsletter. That's our free newsletter on buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for it. You get all my picks in one place, including the gambling trends and game notes that go into the picks, so that way you know the analysis and research, not just the pick itself. That's buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for the free newsletter. And while you're there, check out the store. You can get Butt Fumble Sports merchandise as well as NFL exclusive NFL stuff that we're putting out. Unbelievable stuff. Make sure you're going to buttfumblesports.com, sign up for the free newsletter, and buy the merchandise. Again, the link is in the bio. So if you like our content, check out our merchandise, buttfumblesports.com. The link is in the bio. We're going to be putting out stuff. Mr. Irrelevant, if you're a fan of Brock Purdy, I guarantee you're going to want to check out our website later today. We're going to be dropping some merchandise. If you're a Bills, Dolphins, Giants, Vikings, Bucks, Cowboys, or 49ers fan, Raiders fan, Patriots fan, there's going to be merchandise on there that you're going to want to check out. That's buttfumblesports.com. The link is in the bio. One more time, buttfumblesports.com. The link is in the bio. And again, for all of those who love our content, have enjoyed the show over the last 2 hours, make sure you're following us on at Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. That's at Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. That way you know every time we go live. If you subscribe on TikTok, just like Beer Garden Sports does, you'll get exclusive offerings, be able to DM with me, get exclusive lives, everything that a fan needs. As well as if you subscribe on YouTube, you get access to a lot of our content, rants, game picks, and a lot of other things. Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. The kickoff for Bills and Dolphins is just about to happen, so we're going to sign off now. Appreciate all you guys joining us. Have a great day of football. Enjoy, and I hope you cash your tickets. We'll be seeing you tomorrow night for the preview of Bucks at Cowboys. See you then.